So this is my old rig that I'm giving away to my niece, and yes, it is a little dusty, and before you guys go, oh, I didn't clean it. Actually, I tried my best to clean it up a bit. I literally, like, this is pretty much empty right now. This is pretty much, yeah. So like, I've just been like, you know, doing that. But anyway, this PC has been about 4, maybe 5 years old. So I'm building myself a new PC, and I'm gonna give this one away to my niece. But I don't want to give it to her as it is, because, you know, there's I want to give her something that she can use for a few more years down the road, you know? Like, she can, so I'm upgrading this PC for her. Also, I'm also going to be, one of these drives, I'm going to take it out and put it into my new PC. This is a storage drive, this one right here. So this has all my photos and stuff like that. So I'm letting her keep the faster drive. This is a 1 terabyte 7200 RPM drive right here. So this is going to be still in here. But I'm taking the storage drive away. I'm going to upgrade the GPU. I'm putting in a GTX 1050 non-TI. This is actually a AMD 6850. So this is literally 4, maybe 5 years old. And the reason why it's so old is because I actually had a 7870 in here a while back, and it died on me. I RMA'd it twice, and I didn't feel like RMAing it a third time, so I just threw it out, and I found in my closet my old 6850, so I put it back in here. And also, even though this computer is about 4, maybe 5 years old, the motherboard is actually only about 2 years old. And the reason why is because of when I went to take out my video card, I did not ground myself. I didn't touch any metal, and I touched the motherboard, and the motherboard died. So I had to buy a new motherboard. So this motherboard is actually fairly new. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this. Okay, so let's see. So cable management is pretty decent. I mean, it's not great, but I do have a lot of the cables running through the back of this case. This is an Antec P90. This is a fairly old case. It has no what you call it. It has no it does not support 2.5 inch drives. So I'm gonna put a SSD drive in here for her. So I actually bought a adapter. But anyway, let's get started. So the first thing I have to do is I have to remove. Okay, I'm gonna ground myself. Touching metal, grounding myself. I have to remove this cable here because it's blocking the video card. And I'm going to remove the 6-pin cable here. And I'm basically taking this 4 to 5 year old video card out. Also, one thing is I did break basically there's supposed to be that little blue thing that holds it. I actually broke it. So normally you would, use your finger to do that part, but as you can see, there's no tab here. I broke that part. I don't know if you can see it, but I broke that part. So like I said, I'm not gonna bother dusting that off because I'm not using this anymore. This is gonna go back into the closet. And try my best to dust the CPU cooler. This is actually an Intel i5 3570K. So this CPU is still very good, and it has 16 gigabytes of RAM. So it's actually gonna last. I truly believe it's gonna last for a few more years. 3570K, 16 gigabytes of RAM, a GTX 1050 with an SSD drive. It's gonna be a pretty good CPU. It's gonna be a pretty good computer. But anyway, what was I doing? Okay, I took out that one. I'm gonna take out. I removed the cable already, but I'm gonna take this out. And one of the great things about the Antec P90 is that it's actually kind of a modular case. So I just take that out here. You know what I mean? Take this out. And actually, I actually hid a lot of cables underneath here too. So anyway, and here, oh man, I gotta dust that up. I mean, I gotta clean that up. I'll do that off camera. Okay, so basically, this is the storage drive. This is 2 terabyte Samsung. Actually, I don't even remember the brand. I mean the whatever it's called. But so you gotta take it out of the cage here. I don't know. You can see that. You can take it out of the cage here. I only put 2 screws in there, but it is what it is. Bam. Take that out. Pops right off. Boom. And I'm gonna stick this into my new CPU computer. I keep calling it CPU. Anyway, so okay, here's the adapter I got off of Amazon. It's Corsair brand. It came in a box like this. Came in a box, and it came with these screws, and it holds two. It holds two 2.5-inch drives, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of them an SSD drive, 256 gigabyte SSD drive, and I have a spare laptop drive that is 512 gigabytes mechanical laptop drive. So I'm gonna give that to her as a storage drive. So even though I took out a storage drive, I'm giving her back 2 drives. So anyway, boom. Here's the mechanical laptop drive that I took out. It's a Seagate 500 gigabyte. And if you remember my Dell Precision, this actually is the mechanical hard drive that came from my Dell Precision laptop. Here is the SSD drive. Okay, already running into some issues here, and that is, it is an absolute pain to install the bottom 2.5 inch, because you actually have to go like this into the hole to screw it. So I don't have, and I do have a magnetic screwdriver, but it's not a Phillips head. It's a flat head. So, and it's actually still too big. It's still too big. So I'm actually struggling to screw this in. But don't worry, I have all night. So the this top 2.5 inch is actually slightly bigger than the bottom one, so it was actually a pretty tight squeeze. So I'm guessing they give you 3 bags of this. I'm guessing these last 3 bags, I mean this last set of screws is for these bottom holes. But since this case has these brackets, I don't need this one, because I could just put it in the bracket and use the screws from before to screw it in. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, boom. It's in the bracket now. I can simply take this out, slide it back in. Come on, let's go. My cable management is terrible, I know. There it goes. Just like that. Let's see. Okay, I didn't get rid of all the dust, but I did spend an extra about 10-15 minutes going over the case again, especially the CPU cooler. I took like a toothpick and I just went through it, and I got rid of a lot of the dust, and alcohol wiped some parts of the case. So believe it or not, it actually is a lot cleaner than it was before, even though it's still pretty dusty. But anyway, so here's the big upgrade. The big upgrade is the GTX 1050. This is just the 2 gig version, because like I said, it's for my niece. She's not a gamer. And like I said, with the SSD drive, 16 gig of RAM, 3570K, I think it's still pretty good for 1080p gaming. If she wants to game, you know, if she wants to play League of Legends or whatever. So that's also one of the great things. One of the great things about the 1050 is that it does not require the 6-pin. It gets all the power from the PCI bus. And it was also cheap. It was on sale from Newegg. I got it for like $87 off of Newegg. So, you know, at that time, the TI, the 4 gig version, the TI, was about $130 bucks. So that's like a $35 saving, $40 saving. So, you know, hey, it's a low budget upgrade. But I took that money and spent it on a SSD drive. So okay, let me unbox. Let me do this. Okay, and basically comes out like that. Man, it is small. It is actually very small. Wow. Let's see. Wow, look how small it is. I'll give you a comparison. This was the old video card. This is the 6850. This is the new 1050. And keep in mind, I had a 7870 that I threw away because it broke on me 3 times. So power cooler. But anyway, let me just plug this in. Let me see. Okay, let me screw this in. You don't need to see that. Ooh, as you can see, cabling is a bit of a mess here because the drives are so close together. Oh my god, because the drives are so close together, I did have to play around with twisting the power cables and the iDrives to get it to all fit. But so Oh, almost forgot the CPU cable here. Like I said, the GPU does not need a cable, power cable, and I'm probably just gonna leave it like it is, and not too much to cable manage, because I could just tuck it in here. I guess I could just tuck the loose cables in here, or in here, tuck some of the loose cables in here. And it's an ugly cable. It's an ugly mess, but it works. It works. And that's basically it right there. Oh, I forgot one thing. I forgot one more thing. Okay, so this pretty much is upgraded. I also purchased a wireless USB. Wireless USB for her, so she doesn't have to use the LAN cable. Like I said, she's not a gamer, so it's perfectly fine right here. And that's it. Upgraded my PC for my niece, and I'm done. Just gotta put it together. I mean, just gotta put the stuff back on top. Okay, guys.